Good evening, Lizzie boys, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we've got some Monster High doll news to talk about. This time it's prototypes. We don't have any actual new products to look at, it's just prototypes because, again, I love prototypes. So Venus has been a very interesting case out of G3 because we've gotten to see so many prototypes of her. And they basically all look identical, but regardless, it's interesting to see the direction that she went under when they were creating her. So I think it could be fun to go through all of her prototypes, and then we're also going to go over some new ones that were recently revealed by lmao data. So that's the person who showed these prototypes off. I actually don't know where the main leak of Venus we're going to be talking about came from. I just got it sent to me because I knew it was floating around, but I hadn't actually been able to find the image for myself. I don't know where the origin of this is. If anyone knows who leaked this, if they want to be credited, let me know. Tell me who it was, and I will add them in the description of this video. Anyway, let's just get into it. So we'll be starting this talking about Venus's first prototype that we ever got to see, this image. So it was a close-up of Venus's cornrows, the sculpt for them, and somewhat a close-up of her hair, as well as revealing her eyes. And, of course, the whole doll itself. But the close-up is, I would say, a bit more important just because it's more legible. Or not legible, clear. It's just a more clear image overall. So this image of Venus actually got edited later down the line to look more similar to the final product of Venus, what we ended up getting. So this was, I guess, their first pass at Venus. She's pretty similar to how the final doll looks. The only thing is that they added green to her hair and removed, nothing. They didn't remove anything. I mean that they added stuff. Like, they added her socks, they added green to her hair, and they changed her skin tone. So those were the main changes that were made here. Although, this is the new image I wanted to talk about. So this is the other half of this image. This part had been missing, but you can see it in the corner of this image. You can see it in the corner of the zoom in of the close-up of her cornrows. You can see this doll off to the side. So this is what I wanted to talk about. This is the new prototype we got to see. So this does display an earlier version of Venus, this one specifically. Although her skin tone doesn't appear as vibrant, you can even see a direct comparison between them in the corner of this image in the top left-hand corner. Like, the doll clearly has a bit of a duller skin tone, more akin to what she got on the final release. So again, I just thought that was interesting to point out. The main thing is that this doll had fully pink hair. It also looks a lot thicker. I would say her hair looks thicker, but obviously the main difference is the jacket. The jacket is the main thing that I wanted to discuss here. It's a pretty cute piece. Honestly, I think it has a lot of potential, and I would like to see it end up getting reused at some point. But overall, I do think it was best that it was cut from the doll because it doesn't really go with her outfit at all. I would compare it to, like, the jacket that Cleo came with on her G3 basic doll. It just clashes, you know? It doesn't really work with the doll. It's not like a piece like Frankie's jacket, where putting it on them completes their doll, or Claudine's fur, where when you add it to her, it makes her look more complete. It's more of an add-on piece, I would say, kind of like Draculaura's cape, or Deuce's apron. So, that's my thought on that. It's a cute piece, though, and if they ever want to do a school dance line and put Venus in it, I think it could make for a cute silhouette for her. I would really like a more butch look for Venus, and I think that jacket would accomplish that pretty well. This prototype of Venus is also interesting. I mentioned it briefly, but it is just an edited version of this, but more clear. So someone had access to a more clear photo of Venus, and they edited it to look like this, to resemble Venus's final product. It was interesting. When this first leaked, people were saying that it was fake and that this was the real deal, but I already kind of knew that this was the final product, so yeah. Interesting things about this image include the fact that her socks are very clearly photo edited on. If you zoom in on them, even just looking at them from this distance, it's pretty obvious that they're not physically on the doll and that they're edited. You can also tell that the green streaks in her hair are edited. You can tell that her skin was airbrushed a different color, or just kind of color corrected. I'm not sure how they did it. I don't know much about art, so if I'm using the wrong art terms, you can tell me. I don't know. It's kind of sad. My girlfriend and best friend are both digital artists, yet I don't know the terminology. To be fair, they've never taught me or anything. They just do it, so how would I know? Anyway, you can see a lot of things that are edited on. I even think her shorts don't look like they're actually on her. To me, her shorts look 2D. Like, they don't look like they're physically there. And I'd say it's similar to the way her shirt looks because it looks different here. On the final doll, she has more of a tank top going on. It's got, like, cut sleeves. But here it looks like more of a t-shirt. So, that's a change. From what I can see in this image, it does... No, she does still have a very similar necklace. It doesn't look like the necklace changed. I don't know. Again, I really just wanted to talk about this picture because it's a new picture of a Venus prototype, so I thought it was cool to discuss. And now we have these prototypes provided by lmao data on Instagram. So these are prototypes of the Skulltimate Secrets line, obviously, of the Fearidescent collection. And the main reason I wanted to talk about these is just because of how funny they look. Like, I left them up here with the comparisons just 'cause, but let's just zoom in on Frankie. Needless to say, they look a bit off. A lot of these things do appear to be edited onto what looks like a digitally edited doll to begin with, because Frankie just doesn't look like that in person. Like, obviously you can see how the final doll actually looks, and it just doesn't look the same whatsoever, but yeah. The main differences here seem to be the color of Frankie's popsicle, because it's green here rather than the blue it ended up being on the final doll, as well as Frankie's second pair of shoes. They're a completely different sculpt. I don't remember if that sculpt has been used before. I feel like it has, but obviously Frankie did end up getting a different sculpt with fully black heels and no slits in them. So that's just an interesting thing there. Frankie's prosthetic leg also looks a bit different. It looks more silver rather than the white that it ended up being. Granted, that could just be because it's drawn digitally and it's just a slightly different color, but yeah. All in all, not that major of changes with Frankie, although another major one is the hair, just the partition of the stripes. On the final doll, Frankie has one big section of white at the front, but they squeezed in a bit of black in the prototype into the stripes, if you can see what I mean. So it would have given Frankie more like striped bangs, but instead they opted for the more partitioned ones with just two big black stripes and the white in the middle. I prefer the final product, but the prototype is kind of cute. Not like as a whole, I just mean the hair. And then onto Draculaura's, which looks a bit better. Like, her doll doesn't look as compressed as Frankie's does. But yeah, again, there doesn't seem to be any major differences between this prototype and the final product. One of the only ones that I can immediately identify is, like, her purse is a bit different. On the final doll, she doesn't have the dark pink outline, so that was taken away. And her shoes are a different color. They're darker on the final doll, which, again, you can see in this comparison photo, so I should have had this on the screen. Yeah, not much really changed between the final doll. But, it just seems to be minor color things. Oh wait, her skirt is completely different. The second skirt is completely different. Yeah, it doesn't have... It's not pink and black, it's white and pink with a black waistband and no bow. That's interesting. I actually didn't notice that for a second there. So, yeah, the doll's face is also different. Obviously, she has a different lip color. And to be honest with you guys, I do think the darker lips suit her better just because it helps stand out on her, like, pale pink skin. I don't think pale pink lipstick is the best choice for Draculaura 9 times out of 10, just because her skin is pale pink, so sometimes it just ends up looking like nude lipstick, you know? So, yeah, that's my opinion. All in all, these are just kind of interesting to look at. They also look kind of goofy, so I would love to see more prototypes like this in the future, just totally goofy looking ones. So yeah, not much to talk about, but I did want to make a video about these prototypes just because, again, I find them to be a very interesting topic. Every time G3 prototypes get revealed, I am very much tempted to make a video about them, so you can basically expect one from me every time. I just really like talking about prototypes. Real quick, I just want to apologize if you guys have heard some weird background noise in this video. It's raining, and they're also, like, running a train around my neighborhood. Like, there's, like, a little train for the kids to ride on for Christmas and stuff. It's interesting, but yeah, anyway, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had wanted to make a video about magic mixies today, so, I'll put a poll up on my channel and see if you guys are still interested in that, because I do have to make that video soon. I was sent them by the company, and I haven't done it yet. I'm terrible. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!